I was taught geography at school, but I wasn't taught financial education. That's why I'm so passionate about helping people like you with my 24 years of investing experience. If you're over 40 and feel like you have nothing saved for retirement, this video is important because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how some of the world's wealthiest and most successful people turned everything around after 40, and more importantly, how you can still build real wealth and retire very comfortably with zero stress, no matter how late you've started. Section 1, Mindset Reset. The first thing we need to talk about is mindset. I know you've heard this a million times, but let me explain why it matters. If you keep waking up thinking, I'm poor, it's too late for me, I'll never retire, then every decision you make is filtered through fear and hopelessness. Warren Buffett, whose net worth is well over $100 billion, once said, should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. At the minute, your leaking boat might be your job, your spending habits, your debt, or simply believing that there's no point trying. But what if you change vessels entirely? What if you decided starting today to stop believing you're stuck and instead asked yourself, what can I do differently right now to give myself a better future? One of the things you can do is to learn how to invest in the stock market. And if you want my index investing cheat sheet, type yes below in the comments. Section 2, why your 40s are your peak. Here's something that might surprise you. Your 40s are actually the most powerful decade of your life. Think about it. You've got 2 decades of experience behind you. You've built skills, credibility, contacts, and confidence. Most people in their 40s earn the highest income they'll ever earn, and history proves it. Colonel Sanders launched KFC at 65 after a lifetime of failed jobs. Henry Ford didn't revolutionize the car industry until he was in his 40s. Martha Stewart built her brand in her 40s. Even Ray Kroc only turned McDonald's into a global giant at 52. So if you're in your 40s thinking you've missed your chance, you're actually standing right at the beginning. I'm a genuine believer that anything is possible if you want it badly enough and you're willing to take action. But to use these peak earning years wisely, you need to make intentional decisions, not emotional ones. Now, if you're in your 40s with little or no savings, see below for the simple plan to retire starting in your 40s. Section 3, the family plan. Now, let's talk about one of the hardest parts, your family. If you're married or you have kids, you can't just make financial decisions alone. And this is where so many people get stuck. Warren Buffett once said he gave his kids enough to do anything, but not enough to do nothing. He didn't spoil them basically. He taught them the value of money. And that's exactly what you need to do with your family. Sit down with your partner, your wife, and your kids and explain your goals. Tell them, look, I want us to have an amazing retirement one day, but to do that, we need to make some sacrifices now. That might mean fewer expensive holidays, fewer brand gadgets, or holding off on that new car. They might not love it immediately, but one day, when your retirement planning works, they'll thank you for it. Section 4, stop digging. Here's one of my favourite Buffett quotes. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. If you're spending every pound you earn, or worse, spending more by relying on credit cards, you're digging yourself deeper and deeper into a hole. The first step is awareness. Start by tracking every single expense for 1 month. Write it all down. You might be shocked at how much is leaking out on things that don't even matter. When you see the numbers clearly, you'll find areas to cut back without even feeling deprived. That morning meal deal, those impulse Amazon buys, those streaming subscriptions you don't watch, there's loads you can stop. Stopping the leaks is the first step to climbing out of the hole. Before we move on, I just want to say that nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice, and you'll find the full disclaimer below in the description. Section 5, destroy your debt first. Now, this is where many people get it wrong. They think, I'll just save while I'm paying off my debt. But here's the truth. Warren Buffett said, I don't know where you can find a guaranteed return of 18%, but if you find it, take it. Paying off high interest debt is exactly that. If you're paying 18% interest on your credit card, for example, paying them off is like making an 18% return, guaranteed and tax-free. Debt is a parasite. It steals from your future self. The faster you destroy it, the faster your money becomes truly yours. Fully understanding debt, learn about interest rates, learn about loans, credit cards, is all covered in my free investing community. See below for the link. There you learn how to take control of your personal finances, save more money and start investing towards early retirement. Section 6. Give your money a job. Once your debt is gone, it's time to put your money to work. Warren Buffett didn't become one of the world's richest men by leaving his money in a bank account. He invested it in companies that grew, paid dividends, and made him richer without him having to work harder. Your money should be like an employee, working tirelessly 24/7 to bring more income for you. Investing might feel scary, especially if you're starting late, but think of it this way. Even if you invest £500 per month into an index fund growing at 10% annually, in 20 years that's over £379,000. That's life changing. Your job is to start. Start small if you need to, but start. And if you're not sure about how to invest in index funds, again, see below for my index investing cheat sheet. You've probably noticed I'm trying to get you in the comments and the description. First off, it's to help you with free investing resources, but it's also to help me grow my channel. So if you take the time to engage in the comments, that would be massively appreciated. Section 7, the simple 75-15-10 rule. Here's a practical framework you can implement today. The 75-15-10 rule. 75% of your income goes to expenses. That includes rent or mortgage, bills, food, transport, everything you need to live. 15% goes into investments. This builds your future income and wealth, stocks, index funds, or your pension pot. And the remaining 10% goes into savings for emergencies or big purchases, so you're never caught off guard. When you follow this rule, every single pound has a purpose, keeping you safe today and building freedom for tomorrow. And when you build up your cash buffer to like 3 to 6 months living expenses, this rule becomes a 75-25 rule. 75% on expenses and 25% on investing. You do this long term, your wealth will seriously grow and you're massively helping out your future self and your family. Section 8. Spend like Buffett. He lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He drives a normal car. He eats cheap meals. Why? Because he knows that true wealth is freedom, not Ferraris or designer clothes. If you need a car, buy one you can afford in cash and that's reliable, not one that makes your bank manager richer. I've got a 10-year-old VW Passat that I paid off 2 years ago. It does 600 miles to a full tank. It's got loads of dents and I love it. I'm just not that much of a car person. If you're thinking of buying a house, buy one you can comfortably afford without becoming a mortgage slave for the next 30 years. Your home should be your haven, not your prison. Section 9, your next step. So what's your next step? Decide today that you're done telling yourself it's too late. Warren Buffett built his fortune slowly, intentionally, and patiently. You can do the same, starting now. Create a plan to destroy your debt. Create a budget that stops the leaks. Start investing small amounts consistently, and above all, involve your family in the journey. I've invested for my 2 teenage daughters into an index fund for the last 6 years. If they keep doing it as adults in the 20s and 30s, they'll be fully retired by 40, if not sooner. Summary. Basically, it's not too late if you have little or no savings in your 40s or even 50s. Take time to focus on financial education, invest into index funds, and take advantage of average returns of around 10%. This is your starting point. If you keep going, you keep learning, you get to a point where you can earn even more interest, like investing in individual stocks or even crypto. But what if you have no idea of what that actually looks like? Well, if you look below, you'll find a recent video where I'm talking about the 4 assets I'm never selling and why. If you want more realistic investing strategies for people in their 40s and beyond, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, hit the like button, all the good stuff. I've got a full series coming up on building wealth from scratch, retiring early and creating a life of freedom, no matter what age you actually start.